Hello, this is a Gold 3 Reinhardt review, and the post on this one mentions that they felt they did pretty well. They're not sure what more they could do, except for maybe at the end when the other tank, Reinhardt mirrored them. So we'll go through. There are other tanks on Doom right now.
My greetings!
Going. And I do want to say, against the Doom, you don't have to be so scared. The Fire Strike kind of charged him up, and then if you are going to walk forward, there's not much he can do to stop you at the beginning without help from his team. So you could be safely a pillar right now. If Doom wanted to be mean, now that his team's here, he could... 4 people shooting 1 turret. If he wanted to be mean, he could jam you up here and essentially... take all the space and they get points. So they're not really punishing you that hard, but you would want to take a little more space here, I'd recommend. Yeah, a little too much focus backwards. But good Fire Strike, good pin, those are some good ability usages. Oh, I don't really like you charging him up there. Yeah, like that Moira death's kind of on you. I don't like you charging him up. You could have just waited till the block's over. Oh, and Sombra's back there fighting. You kind of lost your nerve a little once he super punched you, but I'd recommend just staying up there and just fighting. Urana could have had the point if someone had to, but... it's kind of, Oh, you're not gonna block for the Ana? Yeah, you kind of let that one slip away by being passive. You could have kept fighting, or at least shield your Ana out if you are gonna drop down, but, I mean, usually when you get 2 opening picks like that, the fight doesn't turn against you. That's partly bad luck, partly I think you were a little too soon to assume it was 1. Like, oh, I'm just gonna swing at the Doom because we've already won. And charge him, or oh, I'm gonna drop point because we already won, but if the rest of your team gets picked, it's gonna go away, so. Partly bad luck. But yeah, you can push that soldier off. And it's fine to wait out the abilities. Now you can go back in. Yeah, just don't die here. But your teammate should be coming back soon. Oh, that charge though. I mean, although it was aimed right, Doom can countercharge you just like a Reinhardt. You typically don't think of that, but you didn't have enough health to really... I mean, even if the charge landed and you get like an elim on soldier, you're probably gonna get traded out. So that was really risky. We'll see if you live. Oh, are we going for flank shatter? It's a bit risky, but... And I think we're a little too fast to go on point again. The ultimate, I guess, was fine, but I mean, you can take 3 seconds to finish the fight. Yeah, because your mortar got pressured into ulting. And nano boost, so yeah, I think you weren't there to help and they got nervous and dumped their ults. But, so that's twice you've been a little too point heavy. If there are good times to contest point and not so good. And I guess we'll talk about that later, but for now I want you to be up here. You do want to jam them in this choke. You don't want your team, like if I was playing Sigma, this would be good. I can spam them from here, but on Reinhardt, you can get in their face. a little more. Help your sim. Your abilities are really nice, though, your ability usage. And you do just come in from long range with the pin, so... I'm liking your abilities. Oh, good peel on the soldier. So yeah, you're really good with your abilities. Sometimes it just has to do with your positioning a bit. Oh. And I'm not gonna rag on you for missing that ultimate, but I think once you don't want them to be sitting here for free so they can touch it 99, so I understand you going after them, but I think you went a little too deep. Even if the Shatter on Moira lands and you have to like run her down and take 4 seconds or 3 seconds to kill her and then come back, now's a good time to be on point because they've got to fly into you. So you can just gobble up this Doom. The Moira and Venture got pushed out. You can like 3v1 Doom because you've pushed them out. So I think there were 2 times you were a little too focused on point, and here you were a little too focused on kills instead of just getting the easy elim on Doom. Because if you just look at the Venture and Moira, they're gonna get scared, and then you can turn back around. And most players, unless they're like super high level or they're feeding, they'll see a tank coming at them and like hesitate a bit. Meanwhile, you guys are 3v1ing Doom. So I think maybe you're not thinking about the point the correct way. Yeah, maybe you didn't know you can go around here back to point, but this will be like an extra detour, but... Oh, that's unlucky again, though. They're getting all these elims, to be honest, because you got a few picks. Yeah, and you definitely had some great abilities, some great elims. That's probably going to be enough to win most points on most games, but there are some things to clean up with the positioning and the point, how you're treating the point.
Can you feel the heat?
I don't necessarily mind you fighting. I can't see where the point is on the replay viewer. Oh, it's in front of me. Okay. But yeah, those are great pins, because even if he countercharges you, he's going to get knocked down in front of your teammates. So, I mean, your abilities, you have, like, ability usage like a diamond player, so... And maybe you could be on point right now. Oh, good pin again. Because in that point, if I'm going to talk to you about the point, I should just really drill down on it. That's good because it's sort of turning into a spread out sort of scrappy deathmatch. So if you can get the point, you're basically forcing them into your hammer at that point, because you're threatening to flip or gain the point, so that sort of forces people to you in an advantageous position. So going point there, I like it. It just could have been a little faster.
Hello! My ultimate is ready! Join me!
And I'd love to know where your team is. Like, a look around would be great. Okay, they're a little further back towards point. So maybe you would just hold here, and if they come around, then you might just rotate here. It helps to know. This charge might be a little too risky, even though you're good at landing them. Oh, well, if it works. And you got away when the Doom tried to peel, so yeah, that's really good. Nice counter pin. And you can run down these kills if you want. I don't know if you needed Shatter for that, though. I think you had it. I think you had it without Shatter. But yeah, good recognizing you have the man advantage and pushing up and team-hacking divas, so you can tell you have a lot of control over Rein, like when to go aggressive without feeding, so. And that's on your cast, you went way too aggressive. And yeah, I cannot see where the point is on replay. But I think your cast wants to take the objective. Okay, we get it. Oh, it's gonna be that indoor place all the way across. But yeah, just try and group up with your cast so he doesn't get picked. You can go. Oh, that's good. They're dumping so many ults. You don't have to focus on the tree. The tree's going away in like 2 seconds. Good elims, and it's just they counter swap Bastion, which I don't know if you had that info when you charge, but sometimes charging over open areas is a way more risky, and they can shoot you in the back. But so some of the charges, although you're good, you might want to tone down some of the ones where they're a little more grouped up, or you got to go through the open. Just maybe tone down those charges. But I like it. I like how you check where your team is. You can get a good shatter here. Once Bastion's turn form goes out, you can just walk in. Okay. Smooth sailing. We'll see how you stop the retake, though. Just get some information, try and figure out what doorway they're using. Okay, you did see him going left. Oh, I wouldn't go in though. So they are ultimately going through this doorway. Ooh, I think it's a little too passive. I think you can stay up here once turn form expires, because you're fishing for shatter. And imagine if you're the other team and the enemy Rein's here. It's like, oh, thank God, that makes things so much easier. He's not in my face or pressuring me. We can just waltz over here or here, or even here. It's and just shoot. You're making it a little too easy on them. I know they're on Bastion, but yeah, your Sombra's in there fighting too. Oh, and if anything, your charges, it would have been safe to throw a charge up here. This fight just kind of happened without you. Yeah, but I think you got it, or they got you, but on this, because some of the people were over here, you had a safe charge over here, because you could have done a 2v2 or a 2v1 if you charged over here, so I like that charge more. If it's going to get you in a fair fight, just charging over there, even if you don't hit it, you can swing on the Moira.
Push the objective.
But that first point where you got unlucky with the what is it, Venture Ultimate, it's kind of hurting you, but I think you can still pull it back. One pick's okay, we still got Shatter, so. That's rough. Venture has so much damage that's from melee that it's honestly hard to peel for them because of the melee and the drill dash. But you can just focus on those guys. Let your team regroup. Yeah, that's such a pain. Oh, sorry, that fight happened before I thought it would. Oh, Zen ult, so I guess we gotta go in.
I'm ready to overclock.
Well, we've been holding her ult for a while. I guess that's fine.
My ultimate is ready.
But just going for squishies, I like it.
I'm ready to overclock.
That Rein is trolling. But we'll see. You say he might have dipped you, so it's probably the point after this. Or right now. But nice pick. And then I like how you back up afterwards, not to get traded out by the Bastion. So you show so much control on Reinhardt. It definitely looks like a plat player most of the time. Oh, maybe not that charge, but again, he didn't. Luckily, he did not counterpin, and I guess the Bastion did have turret form down, so it was a calculated risk. But luckily, he just ate the charge. But I'm sure you might get punished for that in more games, depending on what they have and who the other tank is. Those charges might be getting you killed in other games. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can look for him, but ultimately you don't want to give him a fair fight. You want him to go through the choke point. So if they come in hard, you can always back up to here. We'll see what you do, though. Okay, you do that. Oh, actually the wrong point. I was thinking of the wrong point. I don't like this split, though, because not only can they just run on your back line, they can also run you down. And if the Rein counterpins you or pins you, or they all just run in, it's over. So I don't like this play unless you're gonna go full stealth and just like crouch and not make a sound to try and sneak shatter them. Once you make yourself known, this is really bad in my opinion, because you can get run down. Yeah, your team's getting picked too. I don't know if that's enough to flip the point, but it'll at least stall them. So yeah, they. I guess it stalled them. It's still a good shatter because of that. And you didn't have to be quite so passive. You could have still held here. You didn't have to fully fall back against one venture. But I think your team's got it. Okay, yeah, so you did enough there. You fell back with your team and they EMP'd, so. But we'll see this last point. Your team's respawning, so I guess you'll just want to be careful, but see how much space they let you get away with taking. I think that Junkrat was killable. We have a little more information. Maybe you were afraid they were all here, but I think you had a chance to run down the jump. Oh, good job going for the Life Weaver. Oh, that's a Rein in a tree. I think you could have kept going for Life Weaver there. Maybe a little too much focus on their Rein. Oh, I do like that. In the ride. Sometimes when you get it, sometimes the times to be looking out for the other run shatter the most is when you get a few picks. Because if they're down one, really the practical way that they would win like a down to the wire fight or a fight down one is by shattering. So you have to recognize in scrappy fights or fights where you're up one, you got to be especially careful about shatter. Because I've learned that the hard way by watching the elo bar go down on some close games, that they'll shatter to sway a close fight. So that's when you've got to have it in the back of your head, like they might shatter, it's 3v3. When they might get you. Yeah. So that was a good shatter by them. They've had some bad shatters up until now, but that one was a good one by them.
Group up with me.
But that Rein's feeding himself to you. Good. Oh yeah, great charge.
Try firing more
Whenever
bullets
they're
next
separated like that, you have some great charges when people are vulnerable. And if you want, when the Rein's here, you might be able to bypass him and just jump shatter. Or drop shatter. Don't like shatter from the top rope and make the sound early, but... Oh, nice one though. That stupid Life Weaver. I hate Life Weaver. I think you can be swinging on Life Weaver though. You're more resulting. There have been a few times this game where maybe you... it's weird because you have so many good fire strikes and swings and charges, but sometimes you're just a little too passive. When you're more resulting and everyone's in there, I mean, you don't have to anchor point necessarily. You can swing on them here. It might just have to do with your thinking from what you've done before. Maybe you're like, I have to anchor point, but you can go for picks too. And if their Rhine wants to stand on point, once you've killed everyone else, then you guys 3v1 the Rhine. So maybe that's why you're being passive, but yeah, it was because you're more kind of wanted to go in. You weren't sure whether to go in or out, but we're gonna have one more fight here.
I'm not.
And luckily no one has any ults after that, so you should, if you lead your team in, have at least a fair fight at this. And you hear the guys to your right, you might want to go right. Or just straight to point, but with your team. And that Ryan's probably close to, like, without the help at the top, I would assume he'd have Shatter now, because we're cheating and we know he's at 94, but it's probably another case of he might have Shatter, so be careful, but Light Weaver pulls him away again. Hate the pin. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, I don't think that one Shatter was really the only time that Rein diffed you. I'd say it's more the Life Weaver preventing 3 or 4 of your kills is what made the difference. It's honestly the Life Weaver, in my opinion, but I think sometimes if you just fix the charges through open ground, tone those down, go aggressive and kind of stuff them at choke points. We're not at the first point, but like something like if they all have to come through here, be up here. Don't be here watching them. Even though your fire strikes are pretty good from a distance, you still want to use Ryan's hammer and kit and clog them in the choke. Sometimes I think you're a little too focused on point. Don't over chase them. Uh, you want to, if you've got the point and it's 99, you don't have to over chase them like you did with that Moira. But if you clean up those things, your ability usage and your positioning is for the most part pretty good. So I think if you just, because your post might have suggested you were tilted, if you just play 30 games, I bet you'll win 65%. Especially if you make those changes in climb. So sometimes it's a team game. You're not going to win 90% of games, even if you're doing well. Because I think you did do well overall. But with that said, good luck climbing.